welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
board games and board gamey things.
Exactly. We're here today to talk about a recent convention that we attended. I was there, Jeff was there, other people were there. And what a freaking blast. And that was the Level Up Retreat. So for today's video, we just want to have a cash chat about our experience.
That means casual, not like cash as in cash money.
Well, I'm here to talk about money.
In case.
So, that's a cat chat. So, we're going to talk about the games we played, what we thought about it, all of these things. So, just up front to let you know, some of our accommodations and travel were covered. So, take that for whatever you wear, okay? But I'm just telling you now. Should I do the whole video in that voice?
No, you shouldn't.
Okay, so Level Up Retreat is basically like a gaming only convention. Like that is its sole purpose. There is a small vendor hall, but it's not, the focus isn't like a big buy convention.
No.
It's go there, play games. This one happened from February, this date, the 2nd, I think, until the 3rd. So it was a Friday until a Sunday.
2nd to 3rd would be one day.
We went on the 1st, which was a Thursday, but it started on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th. It was the 2nd, the 3rd, and 4th of February. It was in New Jersey, in Joycey, and Woodbridge. It was about a 20-minute ride from the airport. Newark, throughout Newark. It was a little bit scary, I'm not going to lie. It's a place. Anyways, so we got there on Thursday, and actually quite a few people arrived on Thursday. I think because the convention starts so like early in the morning and people want to get there late at night. So anyways, we got there on Thursday. Here's what we did on Thursday. Jeff and I were both very tired. This is the first time direct flights have come back. And so we got a direct flight. It was 2 hours. I took my 12-hour strength Gravol, and so I was just looped for most of the day. Jeff was super tired. We get to the hotel room, and what do? Well, first of all, we find out that there's a whole new season of Love on the Spectrum. And so we watched it, start to finish. And after every episode, we looked at each other and said, we should probably do something. And then we're like, nah. We're in our hotel, we're at Level Up, but we're watching Love on the Spectrum. And if you haven't watched it, you are missing out. There's Jeff. We're sleepy, and I just got Starbucks, and that's great. People are arriving tonight. That's exciting. I am vlogging. Right, Jeff? For now, and hopefully for the whole time. That's the plan. We're planning on playing lots of games and gonna try to finish the entire Love on the Spectrum, but we might end up doing that before we even play a game. Okay, that's the update. Goodbye. So we just stayed in and we were like, let's just get all the sleep. So that was our Thursday. Nothing to report here. We didn't play any games. We did nothing except for watch TV.
Correct.
So on Friday, unfortunately, Jeff woke up not feeling super great.
My anxiety decided to be like, hey,
I'm here too.
I'm here still. And I was like,
yes. But with that being said, you were still able to kind of get out and do stuff. But if you saw Jeff on Friday there and he was a little bit like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
That would be why. So anyways, on Friday, I got to get out my stats are rooney dooney. So we started off, we went into the convention hall, which first we got our badges and our bags. So everybody got like a little, not a bag, but what came? They gave you something with your, they gave shampoo and cupcakes. There's like a little bag.
A little gift bag.
Like a little gift bag. Anyway, so we went in and there's this big gaming area. Lots of tables and people were already knee deep in games, okay? Yeah. They were not messing around. So we looked around, we saw quite a few of our Discord friends, and we saw some of our creator friends, and we're like, well, let's just like walk around. We said some hellos and we went to check out the library. So library was actually pretty decent. It's not like a huge library, but there's definitely like plenty of games for people to choose from. I think a lot of people just bring their own games.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of games floating around.
Just games. Okay, so we're like, let's ease ourselves into this one. So we pull out Lord of the Rings: The Confrontation.
We did.
Okay, so Jeff and I just sat by ourselves. We're like, we'll play a couple rounds of this. I got destroyed handily. We played 4 times in a row. And I won one of those times. I actually, I think that it's not possible to win as Frodies, even though I know, I've done it one time. But
it's not, it's harder.
I can't.
For sure.
Sauron's too powerful.
Which it's thematic, you know?
And then we're like, okay, let's transition. So we started to play Sea Salt and Paper, and then one of our Discord members came over, Missy, and we invited her to play Sea Salt and Paper, and then her son came over to play a second hand of that. So, really, our big thing with going to this is we wanted to play games with our Discord members, because other conventions...
It's really hard to do.
It's just it's impossible. And this one, we're like, we can do it. So we played with Missy and Brooks, who is her son, and that was great.
How many games of Sea Salt and Paper did we play?
Oh, so many. So in that one sitting, we played 2. Just straight up, we're like, let's just play. We played one with Missy. Her son came over. We played one with him. It was great. And at that point, Jeff needed a break.
Yep.
Right? So Jeff was like, I'm going to go have a break, and that's fine because I found Jenna from Board Game Garden and her friend Aiden. Okay? And we sat down and we played Hooky, which I'm sure you weren't sad to miss.
I'll never be sad to miss Hooky.
Anyways, we played Hooky.
Again, Hooky's a good game. It's just, it's too much for me.
It's too much.
It's too much for my brain.
Jenna really liked it. I'm not surprised. Aiden, I think, really liked it. I did not do as well as I normally do, but Hooky was played. And then we pulled out FTW. Jeff still MIA. Jeff went for a nap. And when I say a nap,
it's like 3 hours.
It was like 3 hours. He was gone. Gonzo. So I played FTW with Jenna and Aiden again. And this is a card shedding game. It's a new Friedman Freeze. It's very like Fuji Flush-esque. Jeff and I ended up playing it later on, just the 2 of us. I think it will play best at higher player counts, but I actually thought it played okay at 3. Not the best at 2. It was fine.
It's fine at 2. It was
fine at 2. And then I played Nar. Jeff was still asleep.
That's Nar.
Nar. Andosaurus.
That are loving Jamie's Australian accent.
Nar. And I played this once again with Jenna and Aiden. And Adam from Shelf Clutter joined us. And it was great. Aiden is like a master of Nar. He knows all the strategies. I got beat handily, but now I think I've got my groove with Nar. And I did pretty good in a game that we played later. But anyways, Nar is great. If you haven't tried it,
it's on BGA.
It's on BGA.
It's Bomb BGA.
Bomb BGA. Then Devin from Devin Talks Tabletop joined us. Aiden left. So it was me, Jenna, Devin, and Adam, and we played Septima. So this is a game that we do have, and we've got like the big deluxe copy of it and everything. Haven't played it. It's a chunky Mind Clash game. And Jenna taught it because she's played it quite a few times. And this game was like 3 hours. At this point, Jeff had woken up at some point during Septima and came down in the middle of it. So my mini review of Septima is I really liked it. I think I would not want to play it at 4 players often. It was like 3 hours we were playing. I do want to play it at 2, and Jenna really likes to play it solo. So I think it's just like a bit snappier.
Yep.
The theme is really cool though. It's like a really witchy.
It looked beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful, witchy theme. I really enjoyed the game itself, but it was just very long. Long boy. So while we were playing that, Jeff actually pieced off and met up with Board Game Dave, and they played Strike.
Played a couple games of Strike, which is just a crazy dice chucking rando
high strategy.
Game. Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah. Still wasn't feeling great, but was able to get a couple games in.
Yeah. Well, then we left because we were tired and we wanted to get some food. And so we went upstairs and then we did not reemerge for the rest of the night because we were just tired. And I think at that point it was like 7 o'clock. Jeff still wasn't really feeling well. I have I guess it's kind of social anxiety. I don't want to impose myself upon people at conventions, and so I use Jeff as a safety crutch, as a social safety crutch. So he wasn't going to go back down because he wasn't feeling super great, and I was like, well, maybe I should go back down, maybe I shouldn't, but then I ended up not. I do want to just interject by saying the amount of money that we spent on Uber Eats, thank God that we do not have Uber Eats where we live.
Yeah.
Woof, David. It was a lot.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's crazy.
So convenient, though.
Yeah. So that was our first official day. So we got some games in, not as many as we probably would have if Jeff was feeling better, but got to play with a few different people, which was a lot of fun. And then came Saturday, and Jeff was up. He was feeling much better that day. And we started off the day with a little Wonderland's War.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. So we played with Tim, Tim Rail, who has Codenames Live. He hosts Codenames Live, if you've ever heard of it, and one of his viewers or followers. And we played a 4-player game, Wonderland's War. We played the whole game. It was amazing.
It was.
Oh,
Jamie.
I love that game. Oh, guess why I had fun?
Crushed us.
I demolished them.
It was bad.
It wasn't even close.
The rest of us were close.
I think I lapped somebody.
Almost. I think you were tied for lapping.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So anyways, Wonderland's War is great. We're actually going to have quite a bit of content surrounding Wonderland's War, so stay tuned for that. I know a lot of people love it. I'm excited to do some more stuff around that.
Yep.
Then we met up with a few Discord members. So the whole plan when we went is that we were going to play Vast Crystal Caverns. Okay? With Daniel, Sarah, and Ben. We were going to play a full 5-player game. So Sarah and Ben had to go get food. So we met up with just Daniel, and we played a game called Nikojima. This game apparently you can't find, but I'm determined right now. I think they're going to do a reprint.
I think they are, yeah.
Okay, how do I explain this?
It is, you are basically putting out an electrical grid.
Yeah.
But it's 2 poles and what is a electrical wire, but it's 2 wooden dowels basically in string.
On this little circle.
There's a bunch of placement rules on a circle board with 4 different colors, and they all have different lengths, these electrical wires, and you have to place them down, and there's placement rules where they can't touch. The electrical wires can't touch, they can't hang down and touch the ground, they can't be outside of the circle. There's a bunch of placement rules, and then there are there's instances where, you're rolling dice, and maybe you'll have to place a cat, and you have to hang a cat on one of the wires, but all of the placement rules still apply. So if the cat hangs down and touches another wire, yada, 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 and basically you keep going and going and going until it all falls down.
Until Jamie knocks it down. Every time. Or
Jeff yells at Ben and Ben knocks it down.
Oh my God, yeah, we played it. We'll talk about that later, but we were playing it later and Jeff yelled at Ben and scared him and he knocked it all down.
I wasn't even playing.
I love dexterity games, and this is just such a me game.
Yeah,
it's good. so good. So if you have a chance to play it or find it, I would recommend it. So we played that twice. I knocked it down 2 times. Then we got into our game of Vast Crystal Caverns, and it was so great. Once again, we played it with Daniel, Ben, and Sarah from the Discord, and it was great. Me, Jeff, and Daniel had played it before. Sarah and Ben hadn't, but they did read the rules beforehand. And for anybody that doesn't know, Vast is one of our favorite games. It is purely asymmetrical, where everybody has their own objective, most of which are targeting another person in the game. And I don't know, the play was awesome. Jeff did win.
My only thing, I did win, but I felt bad because I was the goblins.
Yeah, the goblins.
And my objective is to defeat the knight. And Sarah was playing as the knight.
It was her first time.
It was first time. So I think, in hindsight, maybe we should have let her be the thief.
I was the thief.
And it was Ben's first play too.
Yeah.
But it is a game. It's hard. Like, it's a game that benefits from repeat play and that sort of thing. So it was almost one of those things where I wish we could have played and then maybe played it again a second time. But I had a blast. Yeah,
it was great. And it's like, what convention can you go to and sit down and play like Vast?
Yeah.
I had so much fun. That game is amazing.
I'm glad that we ended up being able to get that done.
Yes. And then we played a couple games of this little tiny game called Tinder Blocks, which I know a lot of people have heard of, but it's so ridiculous. It comes in this little metal tin with tweezers and wooden blocks, and you pull this card and you're building a fire, and it will tell you what pieces you have to put on the fire, but sometimes you have to build it first, then move it with your non-dominant hand.
That's a bad game.
Yeah.
I'm taking my hands off this table.
Yeah, that's for the best.
Is this an action?
Okay.
You can do it.
I don't know that there's a thing.
And if you can't do it, maybe I also can't.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna let you in, and then I'll sit next to Sarah.
Gonna work.
Oh my God.
Is that okay?
Yeah, no, you're good. Ready?
Oh my God, that thing's wobbling like freaking crazy.
You know, I don't think this is gonna.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Jeff, and it's with your non-dominant hand.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could put it right up on top.
Chance this is happening.
Hurry up, Jeff. Could you hurry up? You're so slow.
Yeah,
Could you be quicker?
Oh my God.
Didn't even get it back on the table.
Oh, there's no way.
If this happens,
No way.
Oh my God.
Oh! So close.
Jeff wasn't great at it. I won one of them, I think.
We didn't even play with the marshmallows.
We didn't even play with marshmallows. So ridiculous.
Tinder Blocks is really good.
So good.
That's a great little travel game.
We have to get it. We're getting so many games. Then we played 2 games of Phantom Inc., which is from Resonant, who they do retrograde.
They do retrograde.
So another Discord member, Antonio, taught us this game. And basically it is like a deduction style game where you're on 2 teams. So in our first game, Antonio and Daniel were like the spirits that are trying to give you clues, and basically like you as a team ask them a question secretly, like it's on a card, and then they slowly write out their answer. And when you think you know what they're writing, you say stop, because you don't want to give the other team any information because you're trying to guess the same word.
Correct.
It was so funny because the first word that we had was sponge. And Antonio, like one of their team's questions was, what's your favorite kind? And Antonio started to write SquarePants.
Yeah.
And so we were confused. We're like, what is SQ? Anyways, this game was so good. So good.
Yeah, might have been the hit of the con for me.
Yeah, it was like, I was not expecting much because I didn't really hear anything about it. And we had a blast. And we also played with a couple other people, Adam, Kenny and Hunter, I think were all of their names. And it was just great because I know that they knew some of the people around the table, but like, I love conventions. You just play with people you don't even know.
Yep.
So much fun. We played a round of In Vino Morte, which is always a good time. It's a button shy game. Then we played Zoo Vadis, which is a negotiation game.
All I'll say is I love Zuvadis and Jamie does not. And it didn't surprise me that Jamie didn't like it.
You thought that I would, though. You were convinced.
I thought maybe you might, because the negotiation isn't it's not like kind of like bidding back and forth. It's just like you're asking someone to help you.
Yeah.
But I get it.
So
I get why you didn't.
With the Discord members again. And negotiation, I don't like it. And I don't know what instance I would. I never know if I'm getting a good deal. That's not negotiation, it's bidding.
Oh, yeah.
Bidding, I don't mind. Negotiation, I'm like, I'd rather just do my own game. I don't want to have to rely on anybody else,
Fair enough.
So, not for me, but I can see the appeal. Everybody else seemed to have a great time. Then we got into, we met up with Jonathan and Mackenzie from Paradise Games. Also, I just want to say, shout out to Shake Shack, because we had Shake Shack for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
You skipped one, though.
No, this came later.
Oh, gotcha.
So we met up with Jonathan and Mackenzie, and then Jason and his partner Carl, and then there was, I want to say, Stephanie.
Yep.
And her partner.
Yep.
I can't remember his name. But so Jason does videos on TikTok and YouTube. He does like books and board games. Paradise Games is YouTube. And Stephanie and her partner were at the convention just participating. And so we all got together and we played a game of Dubious, which is from Arcane Wonders, a game that we do own. Another deduction style game.
Yep.
We had too many people. So we had to play as teams. Yep. And basically you're trying to get people to guess your occupation and like one other thing about you. So Jeff and I were a chemist who conducts seances.
Yes.
Okay. So like every round you'll get some kind of a question that you have to answer, and you have to try and get not everyone, but almost everyone to guess who you are.
You need to be dubious.
You need to be dubious, obviously.
Yeah, you want as many people around the table. You don't want one person basically to not get it correct.
You just want one person to not know. And so I don't think any of us did that great. We were all just like, I thought you were this and you were that. But I think I enjoyed the game.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was good. It's kind of tough because we played it right after playing Phantom Inc., which was, I think, a better deduction game for sure. But still fun. Then we got an even bigger group.
We did.
I'm trying to think of who else joined us. Grant Lyon, Danny's standing husband was there. I think that was actually it. And then the people we were just playing with. Can't remember. We played That's Not a Hit. Nobody
so good.
Talked in an Australian accent. I was very disappointed. But yeah, Jeff, tell people about That's Not a Hat.
That's Not a Hat is a card game, memory card game, where you are shifting cards around, and
gifting.
Each card is going to have like a symbol on it. Could be a bell, could be a box, could be a paperclip, could be a taco, could be a skateboard. And these cards are going to move in different ways, back and forth, because there's this kind of mechanic of like moving things back and forth. And also cards will be stacked in front of you, and you're only ever moving the bottom card. So as you get a card, it goes on top. Your bottom card has to be moved. And when you move a card, you would, if I'm passing a card to Jamie, I'd be like, hey, Jamie, or I would say to the person that passed me a card, thanks for the skateboard. Here's a paperclip.
Yeah, face down.
And again, I'm saying that the card I'm passing to Jamie is a paperclip. Could be, might not be. You probably won't remember. And then Jamie has to either say, thank you for the paperclip, or be like, that's not a paperclip.
That's not a paperclip.
Again, if it's not, she can flip it. If it is, she takes that as a penalty. If it's not, I take it as a penalty. It's just this really raucous memory game.
Nonsense.
That you will not remember the cards. And I remember at one point, everyone was across the table from me was like, here, have this pizza. And I knew I had the pizza. And so it finally came around to me, and I was like, watch this. And I was like, hey, Grant, here's a pizza. And he's like, that's not a pizza. And it was the pizza. Because I knew I had it the whole time. But That's Not a Hat. It is so much fun.
It is chaos. And we played with more people than the game says to play with. But honestly, the more people, the better. Yeah. Because you don't know what is going on. Like, it was chaos. So fun. And then Jeff went to Snooze. Snooze Town, and I stayed down and I played Azul Summer Pavilion with the Paradise Game folks and Stephanie and her partner again. And this is my first time playing this version of Azul, and I really liked it, and I think you would really like it.
Yep.
It's Jonathan and Mackenzie's favorite version. And so now I've played the stained glass one, the regular one, and Summer Pavilion.
I like stained glass.
I like the stained glass one too. I like all of them. Yeah. So anyways, I would recommend it if you're curious. It's totally different, but it's really, really good. So that was it. Went to bed. Jeff was already fast asleep, tucked away in his little bed, his little double queen bed, whatever it's called. So then the next morning, Sunday, this is the last full day. Here's something that you need to know. We live in Canada. Snow happens. Snowmageddon happened while we were gone. We were supposed to leave Sunday morning.
Yeah.
That's when our flight was supposed to be. It wasn't happening. No flights were getting into or out of Halifax. So we pushed it to Monday. So we got to stay for the full day on Sunday, which is great because we played a bunch of games.
We did.
We'll get back to the snowstorm later. So we started off the morning playing the White Castle.
Mm-hmm.
We met up with Jonathan and Mackenzie again from Paradise Games. They hadn't played and we had played, so I rewatched How to Play because it had been a while. And we sat down, we played a game of White Castle. And I just...
Such a snappy game, man.
It's
so hard to get points.
Yeah.
So hard.
So in the
Tight and tactical.
Exactly. In the White Castle, like you have you have 3 rounds total, 3 turns per round. You have 9 turns to do everything you want, and it's not freaking possible. It's such a tight game. It's so much game in such a small box.
Yep.
A+. So good. And I think everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we did.
I liked it. Then we played Nana. We played a round of Nana with Jonathan and Mackenzie. Then Austin from Ivy Studios came over, sat down for a round of Nana. Then we played another round with Jonathan and Mackenzie. Then we had another Discord member, Sarah, come and sit down, and we played Nana with her. And then I played another game of hooky. And Jeff was like, I don't want to play. And I said, Jeff, you got to play.
Mm-hmm.
But then Jeff had to go upstairs for something.
I had to go get our food.
Our food, that's right, because you got to eat. And then Paula comes wandering around with an empty seat. And I was like, sit down. Let's play a game. She's like, okay. Are you sure? I'm like, Jeff doesn't want to play anyway. You were probably relieved.
Finally got a chance. You finally got a chance to play a game with Paula. It
Every
only took 6 conventions.
We're always like, Paula, we're going to play a game. And then it just never happens because we're all so busy. So I got to play a game with Paula Hooky. So it was me, Paula, and then a few Discord members, Madison, Dee, and Nancy. And Hooky melted everyone's brain. I have never been so wrong in Hooky before in my entire life. I didn't know what the heck was going on. Anyways, still so much fun.
Yep.
Everybody enjoyed it, I think. I enjoyed it. Then we played more Sea Salt and Paper. That looks like just me and Jeff played around with Sea Salt and Paper because every time that we were just waiting to do something, that's what we played. Then we played again with Missy and Sarah, Sea Salt and Paper. Then before the convention, Missy reached out saying that she wanted to play a game of Fort because Missy never wins Fort and Jamie never wins Fort. And then there were 2 other Discord members, Miranda.
They're not in the Discord.
They're not in the Discord?
I think they might be now, but they weren't then.
Miranda and Kevin. Be in the Discord if you're not. So Miranda, Kevin, me, and Missy played Fort. And Jeff actually met up with another Discord member, Schweinbub, Marcus, and played Lord of the Rings: A Confrontation. Twice. And this is just a side note. Schweinbub beats us in everything.
He is one of the best gamers I've ever seen.
Jeff beat him at Lord of the Rings Confrontation.
In his first game.
And
then he beat me.
He beat Jeff. But Fort was so good. This game is just, it never misses. Me and Missy, we did miss though, because we both lost, which we knew we would. But it was fine. It was great. We had a great time playing. And then we met up with Daniel, Sarah, and Ben, and they showed us this little game called Flip Ships.
I'm obsessed.
Which, once again, a game that you can't get anywhere. This is a space flicking game. Jeff, explain the game.
I'm trying to remember the video game it's based off of.
Asteroid
It's not
Killer.
asteroids. It's the one where the aliens come down the screen. You're going to know what I mean. They come down the screen. Anyway, it's based on that. You have a bunch of different ships, and all these ships have different abilities. And there's kind of this round timer on the side, and essentially these aliens are coming down, and you need to flick your ship onto the aliens in order to destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't destroy them, some of them will attack your city, and you'll take damage. There's a mothership at the top, so you need to flick your ships into the mothership to do damage to the mothership.
Come on! All right.
Okay, I mean, that's a great thing.
It's just this really fun, dexterous, flipping...
Rowdy.
It's like flicking quarters,
and we crushed it.
Until we lost.
Yeah, so we played with, once again, Daniel, Sarah, and Ben, and then Marcus came over and joined the team with Daniel and Sarah. And it was just...
That game was so good.
I immediately was like, I need to own this. And Daniel's like, well, you can't because it's out of print. It's super old. So I think somebody in the Discord said they had a copy.
Yeah.
I need it.
Waiting for confirmation.
Need it.
Yeah.
Anyways, then most people left because it was the end of the convention. We got kicked out of the hall, basically.
Yeah.
And we met back up with those same folks, Daniel, Sarah, and Ben from the Discord, that night in a different room. And we played Skull King. Classic. We played that Nekojima game again. And then we also played Thunder Road Vendetta in a cool Daniel 45, which means it took us like an hour and a half to play.
Yeah, so just to explain to anyone, we now have a token term of a Daniel 45.
Daniel 45.
So we had 45 minutes before people were kind of like, yeah, I'm going to go to bed. And Daniel's like, let's play Thunder Road Vendetta.
We can do it in a cool 45.
We can do it in a cool 45. It took an hour and a half plus.
Yeah.
So now,
it's fun, though.
Daniel 45 is any game you need to play, and it takes like an hour and a half.
Exactly. And that was all super fun. That night, our flights on Monday got canceled.
They did.
And so we had to rebook again for Tuesday. So we didn't actually get to leave New Jersey until Tuesday. One thing that I did miss, the box fart competition.
Right.
Okay, so I believe that was on Saturday. Our friend Jeff from the Dragon's Tomb, which is a fantastic YouTube channel that you must check out. It's the most serious channel you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Very serious stuff. Hosted a box fart competition. So there was a bunch of us that participated, and there was a crowd that was watching, and then Grant Lyon and Paula Deming were the judges. I would like to just say we were robbed. I
do think we got robbed.
I think we got robbed.
We had a really good story. We sold our craft.
Yep.
And they gave us like 6s.
I know. Crazy. Exactly, like a box fart. Anyways, I had planned to find Isle of Cats because I know that box farts. And we couldn't find it in the library, so we were going through the library.
One at a time. Those people had no idea what we were doing.
Nope. And so eventually we're like, we got rolling heights to make a sound. So we're like, let's just take it.
Yeah, we were running out of time.
It was crazy. Anyways, it was super fun. I think everybody had a great time with that.
Yeah.
But then everybody went home, and we were there in New Jersey.
Hanging out.
We were there on Monday, and what do? Nothing. We played some games. So Jeff and I played FTW again, Lord of the Rings Confrontation again, until I got so mad that I didn't want to play anymore because I can't win. Then we played Sea Salt and Paper, and we played Romy Rami, our first time playing the physical copy. And that was all great. We watched some shows. We had some food. We got Panera. Shout out to Panera. Anybody that hates Panera, I don't know what's going on with you.
I love it. It's so
we
good.
like the night before we got grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Yeah, it was nice.
Delicious. And then I got this caprese, some kind of
that
green
was
goddess
so
sandwich.
Good.
And a cookie that blew my mind. And this green tea, so good. So that was Level Up. We flew home the next day. We played Nar at the airport. That was great. I didn't record it. I need to. But overall, I would say that our experience was really good.
Yeah, I mean,
really, really good.
It's really nice to have a convention on this side of the continent. That's a little bit more intimate than like a Dice Tower East, where you can just play games.
Just play games, and it was chill, and there was no pressure. And if like you had time and you ran into somebody, it's like, hey, you want to play a game? Yes. Great. It was awesome. I would say my only... and I forgot to mention, there was like this Star Wars stuff happening. I don't even know what it was, but it was incredible.
It was
There
incredible.
was a real-life R2-D2 and a Chewbacca. Darth Vader was there.
Kylo Ren
was there.
The costumes, and
it was wild.
they were so talented.
Yeah, they also had a bunch of RPG stuff, but we didn't leave the gaming place, basically. But yeah, I would say if it's something that you're curious about, I would definitely recommend it. There's quite a few people that we ran into there who were with other people that they had met at the previous Level Up.
Yeah.
Just met there and planned to go. So it's super welcoming. It's like Jeff said, it's intimate enough that it's not overwhelming at all. And from what I've heard, they're planning on doing it a couple times a year. So
Yeah, there might be one coming up this fall, maybe.
Yeah, I would definitely go again.
Yeah, I had an absolute anxiety and travel delays aside, like it was one of my favorites. Like it was up there with PAX, honestly. Like
Yep.
I had a great time.
Yeah.
And it was so nice to finally be able to just sit and play games with our community.
Yep. And the only like negatives were that I found the vendor hall was like hidden.
Yeah.
So more so I just felt I'm kind of glad because I didn't want to spend any money.
Yeah, and it was small. Like it was.
Yeah, and I mean it was only a 20-minute ride from the airport, so that wasn't bad, but the hotel I think had our curtains were hanging up with duct tape.
Our room was a bit, yeah.
There was no fridge.
And I don't know if that was just our room.
I don't know.
I mean,
our room was a little bit janky, but it's
was,
fine.
Yeah.
But like ultimately, whatever. You're not going like you're playing games the whole time. So overall, very good. Highly recommend. If you're looking to go to level up to the next one, you could join our Discord. We have a conventions channel where people will be planning on attending with each other, I'm sure. So feel free to join that.
Yeah, I think a lot of our community ends up going to those. So.
Yeah, it was great for sure.
Yep.
Anyways, that was our experience with Level Up. Now, if you're interested in buying board games, like any of the many we talked about today, except for flip ships, apparently you can't get that anywhere, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that is...
the Boardroom Game Cafe.
Heck yeah, it is. You like snacks?
I do.
Where do people get snacks?
Munchpack.
Munchpack, that's right. And if you like what you see...
please subscribe.
We hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye.
Later it is.
Ding.
We're down here for. Ooh.
What?
I could play that Halls of Hagrid game.
Sure. Yeah, it's right. Where did I put it? Up there.
Your camera's dying.
It's plugged in though. It's okay. Can I get this? Here.
There's so many.
It's been there for quite a while now, so it's long enough. Do you feel that?
No. There's so many.
Let me look at the other ear. I don't think you have many. There's a couple little baby ones, but that one was like, hello? You boogies.
I did.
Okay. Don't forget to take off your microphone.
Got it.
Don't forget to throw it on the table.